Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group, here today to do our monthly Salesforce tips and tricks. So today what we're doing is actually going over live our tips and tricks that were posted at the end of June 2019. So 4 weeks later, I go through the tips. Next month, what's going to happen, we actually do have our latest tips that are up right now. Those are regarding merge documents, word merge documents in Classic, and a little bit of Lightning. Becky just posted those up the other day. She's on vacation today, so normally she would be doing these videos, but I am doing it for you today, so you've got Corey. My email address is corey@marksgroup.net, which is COREY@marksgroup.net. Thanks for joining today. Thanks for watching. What we're going to do is go over again those tips from June. At the end of August, what you're going to be looking at next month, you're going to be looking at your tips that are just posted up right now. So every month we do this. We do 3 tips, post them up on our blog, and then we go through them live and post it to the YouTube channel. So if you're watching it on YouTube, thanks for watching. Tell your friends. If you're watching it live, you're watching this live with me right now, thanks for attending. Okay. All right, thanks, folks. So just getting to it, what we're going to talk about today are 3 different spots. One is the Kanban View in Salesforce. Second tip is going to be regarding the comfy versus compact views that was new for winter 2019. And our third tip is going to be going through and discussing the navigation bar and how to customize that, what this little pencil does for me over here. Kind of a nice little trick I'm going to show you in a little bit, and shows you where things are. Okay, so we'll do that, we'll go through it, and away we go. Okay, so first things first, let's go through actually let's whip through. We're going to do it a little out of order. Let's go to this lightning density stuff. So the lightning density stuff, I'm just going to go to an account record. I'm going to open up a test client for me, ABC company, right? There it is, or typical, right? We've got one contact there, Joe Test, or all these different things, okay? What you're going to notice is as of winter 2019, there is, if I click on my little picture, you can see there's actually 2 displays, comfy and compact, okay? Comfy is just everything's a little bit spread apart. It is the default, right? And it's what we're used to. Whereas the compact kind of jams things a little bit further together. So you're gonna watch what I do this when we record it, and you're gonna see if I go comfy, and I say, okay, refresh, there we go. And what you're gonna see is things are a little bit more spread apart. Okay, I've got 2 lines for phone. The lowest I'm seeing is my parent account for search capabilities, right? And I have to scroll to see the rest. If I jam up here and I go, let's go compact. As you can see, parent account is way up here, right? And everything seems to be side to side. So instead of phone number being underneath phone, I get a lot more going on here, and it just gives me a lot more flexibility with my fields, what I'm seeing, and it's probably a long time coming is what we're looking at. Okay, everything's to be, the fields, labels are located on the side, and from what I understand, it's allowing up to 30% more information. Okay, it's real easy to do. It's an individual user thing only, right? You don't have to do anything else regarding, I'm just mute my phone here. Starting to get loud on me, and so what we have is that's an individual call, right? You can do whatever you want. It doesn't affect everyone. It's just yours, but it is for your look and feel. Okay, all right, that's it. So now, since we're talking about individual customization, let's go back a little bit. We're going to go to the navigation in Lightning. We are in Lightning Edition here. Okay. What we're going to talk about is we've got all these different pieces: home, opportunities, leads, right? Tasks, files, accounts, all these pieces. However, what a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually edit this. Now, there are some caveats, okay? When you're editing these things, if they're default and shoved in there because of the app or what your administrator has set as default, you cannot remove those, right? You can't relabel or either, right? But relabel them. But what you can do is add some more that you don't see, okay? So one thing that you'll do is you can actually take these pieces and say, you know what, I've got leads here. I've got 2 leads actually. I don't want either one. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see if I can get rid of these. See, this is what I was doing earlier today. So if I move this around, leads, hit the 3 bars, this allows me to drag and drop, move things around. I can also go to add more items, and I can get rid of this and say all open leads. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to move that away. And I do not want that, but I can put that in. That's something that I did view recently. Okay, so this leads one here is a special one. I've got 2 of them. Let's actually cancel this and show what it does. I think this is from a previous tip. Yeah, it's by default. It's a set view that goes there automatically, where leads here goes to recently viewed, because sometimes I get annoyed at what that's in there, right? So if I get rid of this or maybe move them way down, I can do that, right? You know, and I can also I can rename or remove. I'm not seeing how to remove this because these are all by default, okay? And so that's what we've got there, but I can move them around if I want to do that, and I can do that. I'm going to cancel because I like the order of what I had. Now, if I'm not in this application, if I'm just in the sales app, which is where I think we were. Yeah, I've got a lot going on here. So this is the sales app for me. Yeah, that's where I've got my leads and such. If I change this and go to my app builder and I say, let's go to the Marks group, a new Lightning app, right? This is something I built from a tip a long time ago. You can see I'm limited here in what I've got, right? It's a little bit less. So here you can see this. I've got all open leads, and I can hit the X on this. If I don't want it, we're going to add that back in a second. I'm going to hit X. So all these others, if the X's are not there, that means I cannot remove them because my administrator put them in by default for the application, the sales application, what have you. I say save, there we are, it's gone, nav bar is updated, okay? So what's going on here is we start talking about you know, the different pieces. So that's the navigation. If I want to move these around, I can. If they are default applications that were added by your administrator, cannot relabel, cannot remove. However, I can reorder them, right? So if my leads are not as fancy or not as important as my accounts and contacts, I can move them around. Maybe my opportunities would be here, and I can do that. My calendar, I'm going to move down, and then I'm going to say save, and then that rearranges things. So that I can do. You also do have the ability to reset to default, and that would be what your administrator did. Okay, now, little tip. This is actually something I learned. I did not write this blog, Becky did. What I learned something from this, which is really, really nice, is not only can I do, like once I'm in the view, if I go to my leads area, okay, and I'm in my recently viewed, right? See that open recently viewed in a new tab? Let's go to this and say, let's go to open leads, all open leads. Okay, there's all my open leads. Now it's in my dropdown. You see I have the option. Here's my recent lists, all open leads dynamics, whatever. I can say open all open leads in a new tab. Okay, and this is kind of nice, right? Because if I do this, what I do is I put it up there, and now it's up here. Recycle bin, open leads, right? And it has an option as well to add it to the nav bar. So I do that. Now it's in the nav bar permanently. I can actually go here, and let's say I don't really care. I only care about my open leads or my accounts. What I can do is take this, move this all the way up here, and I can actually even hide this way down here. Like you're going to see it. It's going to be at the end. But if I do this, now I've got home, all open leads, goes right to my open leads view. I can't do the change of I miss my recently looked at, my recent records, and I lose my recent list, but this is a nice view to have, right? Just do that. There's my accounts, my different views in the accounts, right? Zoho clients, go back to boom, there's my all open leads. I actually really like this. This is a nice little tip that I can set things up in my favorite views. I can move in and customize myself for my own navigation bar. Okay, so good stuff that way. All right, so that moves on to our first tip in the blog post at least, but I'm doing it best for last. And it's known as the Kanban View. Okay, now the Kanban view is a very different view. You can display a maximum of 200 cards. What it is right now we've got, if I say open opportunities, all opportunities, there's my list. Okay, I can even do pipeline. Okay. Actually, that is, I wonder what that is. What's the filters? My opportunities, closing date last 3 months. So I'll get rid of that. Save it. So there's my opportunity pipeline, right? These are my opportunities. Now, what I can do is, as you can see, this is what we know as our list view. We've always had this list view. We can do things like this. We can do merges. We can do edits. But what we're looking at is now there's something known as the Kanban view. This is actually a very common topic across the CRM space. Zoho is a Kanban view now. Salesforce, obviously, we're looking at that. Dynamics is working on it. I haven't seen it yet. That's Microsoft's world. But what happens is it allows you to see these list items as cards. And if I go to the cards, what happens is it actually separates out my items by stage. Okay. It also totals up the items. So it's a very graphically intensive type thing, right? You can only do 200 cards. You can only display 4 items. It's the name of the opportunity, the price, the company, the close date, right? Overdue. So, and what I like is I can do this and say, oh, new task, I need something new here, right? New task, follow up, because it's overdue. I can also move things like this prospect. I can take this card, and I'm going to move it to value proposition. I just updated the stage. So it allows you to manually kind of move things around as you're doing things. See how the totals came, right? So it allows you to move it around. It's a little more graphical, okay? Caveats, some considerations, 4 fields, 200 cards only, right? You can only do summarize on numeric and currency. You cannot do a roll-up or a summary on formula fields, okay? It's only currency and number fields. You can't do a count. The count is actually here. Tells you that there's 2 records, 1 record, 2 records, 1, 15, right? Okay. If a record has a null value for the group by, it doesn't appear at all. So if you're doing a group by in this base stage and this doesn't have a stage, then you're done. It's not going to show up. Okay. So a couple things there. Now, what we can also do, right, is we can do this and we can actually edit the filters like we did before. That's fine. Okay. We can also do the selective fields to display. Okay. Opportunity name, account name, amount, close date, the stage is what we're grouping by. And the owner, I'm not seeing opportunity. Oh, this is actually when you're looking at, sorry, this is if we're not in Kanban view. Sorry, that's this, right? Opportunity owner. Back to Kanban. Kanban settings. Summarize by amount, total project value. You could do it that way too. Like if you have the probability given a percentage and you want to total it by that, I can change the group by, and I can say opportunity owner. And I'll put them all in different categories there. Okay. Obviously, I'm not digging that as much. I would rather do, say, lead source. It's an interesting way of doing it, right? Partner, client, whatever it is. Okay. Back to stage. Type, I might have new business versus renewal business. Okay. If I go here and I do edit, then I can actually edit the record if I want to. Now I'm trying to see how I can change the fields, but I believe what it's the first 4, right? So if I go here and say I want last activity and move that in, I'm going to move that up to, let's get rid of account name. We'll move that down a little bit. Save it. There now we've got the name, the last activity, and the close date. So you can see that it's These don't have dollar amounts. That's why they're showing up as nothing. But you can see, and some don't have last activity. So not a great idea, but I wanted you to at least see how I can change it around. Okay, go that. Move the account name back up. Amount, close date, stage. Save it. Now we're back to those 4. Okay, so you can see how you can modify this a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a very useful tool to manage your pipeline and move things around. You can filter it here just like you normally would a view. You can add in a chart if you want, right? Refresh it. Kanban table versus Kanban, that's the view. And then again, we went through the settings. So there's a lot of different things that I can do here. And like I said, it's just more of a graphical display. Some people like these columns. It allows you to move things around. And I do like that. I like to be able to say, oh, you know what? This guy's actually a little further up. He's in here. And my needs analysis might go up. There it is. And the dollars can move around, and you'll see where you are, right? If I want to filter this and say I don't want stage to not equal, and I say closed one, closed lost, say done, save it. Now you're going to see my stages are going to change. See, there's closed one again, and that shouldn't be in here. Not equal to closed one. I don't know why this guy is in there. Well, there's 0, right? So it's showing me that, but you do have the other zeros as well, but I don't know why closed one would even show in here. It shouldn't. Okay. So that's what the Kanban view is. Again, very useful tool. I like it. It's nice. It's a nice way for salespeople to manage their pipeline. A lot of people work this way, like they can see it in front of them, and it makes more sense. Now, as it gets higher and higher in the number and the manageability of the list, this sometimes is what people want to see instead, right? It's too many. But this one allows me to see that sorting by column with the staging and some totals and all that. It's almost like a report right on screen. So I like it. Okay, I hope that was helpful for you. At this point, I will call it. So it is the end of July right now, presenting the tips from June of 2019. The new tips that were posted end of July will then be 4 weeks from now, about 4 or 5 weeks from now, end of August. We're going to go through those. Becky will be back. She'll go through the tips. But if there's any questions on anything you've seen here, any way I can help, please reach out. Corey@marksgroup.net, C-O-R-E-Y @marksgroup.net. Also check out our blog pages, getting more data on there, other past blogs for our Salesforce, Salesforce tips and tricks, and hope you get things out of it that way. Till then, hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye now.